Here's Squidward on his best day.
Yeah, it's even better in a group.
And here he is on his worst.
I can't seem to get happy.
After 16 whole seasons, I think it's fair to say Squidward Tentacles is the saddest critter in all of the 7 seas. So to see just how sad the dude really gets, today we're going to be going through Squidward's 8 levels of depression from just a bit of a low mood all the way to rock bottom. Starting with the episode, Can You Spare a Dime? Besides avoiding SpongeBob, art, and playing his clarinet, I think the only other thing that gives Squidward purpose in his life is his job at the Krusty Krab. I know. He's on record for hating his job, and that he's much better than working in fast food. I get all that. But it allows him to live within his means and gives him something to do, at least. That soon goes out the window in the first episode, Can You Spare a Dime, though, as Mr. Krab sees red when he realizes his first dime is missing from the register, and he blames Squidward for stealing it.
You stole it! Didn't take your precious dime!
Show me your tentacles.
Here, see 'em!
You can't do that to me. I'm your boss.
I quit!
Squidward walks away with his head held high, though, wanting to use this as a chance to better himself. After all, he can do anything he sets his mind to, apparently.
I could be a football player, or a spaceman, or a king.
Or a football-playing king in space with a mustache.
Yeah.
So how does his new life treat him? Has he managed to make it to the moon or become a starting quarterback for the Bikini Bottom Barnacles?
Spare change, ma'am.
Squidward, is that you?
Aw, man, the poor guy's homeless. I guess those dreams of being a football-playing king in space didn't really come true after all. At least SpongeBob's there to pick him up in his hour of need.
Here you go, Squidward. You sleep in my bed.
But just till I get a job, 1 day, 2 days tops.
Stay as long as you need to.
I know Squid and Sponge haven't seen eye to eye over the years, but it's nice that SpongeBob can look past all that for his old neighbor. Like, this is Squidward at his lowest. He's broke, homeless, relying on the goodwill of someone he openly didn't like for help. Surely this is a lesson to him, right? You know, start to enjoy life, get back on your feet, make more friends than enemies, that sort of thing. As they say, though, why change a habit of a lifetime?
It's about time you got here! I can't drink that.
Why not?
Are you blind?
What about it?
That lemon has 3 seeds in it. I can't eat anything odd-numbered.
So let me get this straight. Squidward has been given the gift of a lifetime with SpongeBob helping him out, yet he still treats him like trash. Like, come on, man. SpongeBob's no pushover, though. He starts to hit back at his friend.
Where can I get one of these jobs?
Oh, they're everywhere.
I'm gonna go look for one so I can stop mooching off my friends.
The only way SpongeBob is gonna get things ironed out is if he marches to the Krusty Krab and demands that Mr. K rehire Squiddy. And to be honest, I don't think we've ever seen SpongeBob this angry.
Listen, you crustaceous cheapskates! Squidward's been living at my house, driving me crazy! What's that?
Me first dime.
With Mr. Krabs reuniting with his first dime, Squidward is forgiven and is rehired to the Krusty Crew. Now let's face it, Squidward was a real jerk in that episode, but he also didn't lose literally everything. Hurt people, and all that. So yeah, I wouldn't say that this is the most we'd feel bad for Squiddy, but for a while there he looked pretty down and out, and this is only the beginning. As Squid's mood starts to sink, we hit severe paranoia. In the episode Squid's Day Off, it's a beautiful day in Bikini Bottom, so that means one thing. Squidward is stuck at work.
Here I am, trapped in a prison of high cholesterol. No one ever comes in on Sunday. Why can't Mr. Krabs just let us go home?
So what Squidward's saying is that if he was in charge, he'd have let the Krusty Crew go early. Well, what if he was actually put in charge? Because that's exactly what happens after Mr. Krabs has the little accident. With Mr. Krabs on his way to the hospital, Squid's the man of the restaurant. In his first order of the day, he gives SpongeBob a promotion.
Squidward, who's gonna work the grill?
It's part of the promotion I mentioned earlier. You're gonna take the orders, then you're gonna make them.
If SpongeBob's working both the grill and the cash register, that can only mean one thing. Squidward's having a day off. Sorry, he's gonna run some errands. But before he can settle down, he needs to make sure that SpongeBob won't do anything stupid like give all the cash away or give the wrong change.
Do you want 4 quarters, or 10 dimes, or 20 nickels, or 100 pennies? Or if you give me a $5 bill, your options are...
All right, goodbye.
Whew, okay, he got that covered. So Squidward can finally head off home to enjoy the brilliant day.
I'm the boss. I deserve this. Everything will be fine. There won't be any customers today anyway.
Or more like worry himself sick about the Krusty Krab and SpongeBob burning it down. Midway to the restaurant, Squid manages to talk himself out of his paranoia, but when a fire truck goes speeding past, he can't help but rush right on back to the Krusty Krab. Jeez, Squiddy, take a chill pill. It's no use, though. Whatever he tries to do to relax, he just managed to make himself sick with anxiety to the point he has to check on SpongeBob to see if the place isn't totally destroyed.
Have you finished those errands? Have you finished those errands? Finish those errands? Have you finished those errands? Finish those errands? Have you finished those errands?
Look at his eyes. He's starting to go nuts. The only other option he's got is bolting himself in from the inside, and you guessed it, that's exactly what he does.
There. Now I'll have to stay here and enjoy myself. I'm not even gonna think about you-know-who and the you-know-what doing I don't care.
Okay, I'm all for having a laugh, but is he actually okay? I don't remember his face looking like that as a kid. That's terrifying. He might have bolted himself in, but that doesn't stop him from heading on out once more as soon as his anxiety rises. Only this time, he's still in his bath clothes, or as normal people say, naked.
You didn't think I knew you were a stick outside my window, the toilet in my bathroom, and then you were in my bathtub, then you swam down the drain, beat me to the Krusty Krab.
Yeah, he pretty much lost it now, but as he starts to come to his senses and realize what he's done, SpongeBob notices the open sign.
We forgot to switch the close sign to open. Ah! Ah!
Now, yeah, I wouldn't say Squidward is super depressed in this episode. If anything, he's more manic. He's anxiety-ridden and all that general bad stuff. But boy, do I feel sorry for him. He can't even allow himself a day off of work on a Sunday, all because deep down he feels responsibility to Mr. Krabs. Otherwise, he let the place burn. But as manic as he was in this episode, that is nothing compared to being faced with your own existence, especially if you're trapped with it forever. Living next to SpongeBob would leave anyone mildly depressed, but for the most part, Squid does a good job of dealing with it. In the episode SB129, though, Squidward's had enough of dealing with his neighbor from hell.
Good morning, Squidward.
All he wants to do is play his clarinet in peace and quiet, but SpongeBob and now Patrick are at his door begging him to come play outside, and he's already told them no once.
How about now?
No!
Now?
No!
Now?
No!
How about now?
No.
Now?
Man, can't a guy just enjoy his day off? Well, speaking of days off, since SpongeBob is also off, Squid figures the quietest place for him to sneak into would be the Krusty Krab, but they follow him there too.
Oh, Squidward! Squidward!
Hiding in the freezer to get away from them is a pretty cool move, but there's one little problem with it. The latch on the inside is frozen.
What? Oh no! Someone will realize I'm gone and come looking for me?
2,000 years later.
I don't know what's worse, the fact he's been left there to freeze for a millennia, or the fact that no one cared enough to look for him. Like, surely SpongeBob and Krabs going to the Krusty Freezer. Like, did they just leave him there? Either way, he's about to thaw in a different time.
Huh? Oh, okay, what's going on here?
Everything is chrome in the future.
Forget that everywhere is chrome, Squiddy. What about those SpongeBob clones behind you? This isn't the future. This is your worst nightmare.
Spongetron's X, Y, and Z.
Are the other letters of the alphabet involved here?
All 486 of them.
Hey, he's taking this loss in the future with hundreds of SpongeBob stuff really well, isn't he?
Future! Thanks.
Luckily, though, with the whole thing being the future and all, time travel has been invented, so Squid gets given a one-way ticket back to the past, but it's not the past he knows.
Wow, primitive. Sort of an old world charm. Wow.
Okay, so it's the past, but hey, at least there's no one around so Squiddy can play his clarinet in peace. It's never that easy, though.
Stay back!
He's like a bad smell. You can't get rid of SpongeBob. It's like Squidward's cursed or something, and to make matters worse, a prehistoric Patrick is there to boot.
Hi there.
I didn't know Patrick's prehistoric ancestors were British. Obviously, though, Squid can't get much peace here either. These guys are completely feral, and the sound of his clarinet is like some sort of battle cry to them. To escape those beasts, Squid rushes back to the time machine, but in his panic, he snaps the lever.
Get me out of here!
Loser.
Instead of going back to the past or the future, Squidward's sent to an in-between limbo land of just nothingness, which is enough to send anyone crazy. But at first, Squid's just happy to be alone.
I may finally have found a place where I can be all alone.
That alone time soon wears off, though, and an existential crisis hits Squidward. I mean, can you really imagine being trapped alone forever?
Where's the time machine? Where?
Through sheer dumb luck, Squidward lands back in the time machine and is sent back home to present-day Bikini Bottom.
SpongeBob, Patrick!
Hi, Squidward.
That might be the first time he's genuinely been happy to see them. At least he's back, but a trip like that is enough to change a cephalopod for a lifetime. Sure, he might be laughing now, but Squidward's gonna have a lot of unpacking to do. We haven't even touched the sides when it comes to Squidward's sadness yet, but things are about to get pretty serious as we move on to him being clinically depressed. As we've seen so far, living between SpongeBob and Patrick is the root cause of most of Squid's problems, so why don't he just move? Well, there's actually a time when he did do that, and the final straw for Squidward is when the troublesome twins start wrecking his tiki head with their reef blowers.
Put my windows back!
No problem, Squidward. We're on your side. A second now.
And as luck would have it, in the falling debris is Squidward's TV, and he finds an ad for what looks like a paradise compared to Con Street with Sponge and Pat.
Tentacle Acres, where happiness is just a suction cup away.
Now that does look like it was made for Squidward. It's an octopus's dream. Yeah, Squid's an octopus. I know his name is pretty confusing, but he is. Anyway, he starts to settle into Tentacle Acres, begins loving life, especially as they stock one thing he's always been looking for.
They have it! Canned bread! This town is great!
It's not just the canned bread, though. This place has everything he could ever want. His house is great, the people are just like him, and there's even dance classes and clarinet groups.
Yeah, it's even better in a group. This town is perfect. A clarinet trio?
You can have too much of a good thing, and Squidward learns this the hard way. He spends every day doing the same stuff over and over, and soon there's trouble in paradise.
I sorta don't feel like playing my clarinet today.
Seeing Squid so sad doing what he loves really pulls on your heartstrings. I mean, this guy hasn't got anything other than his clarinet or a bit of canned bread. This is where it starts to really hit Squidward that all the stuff SpongeBob and Patrick did to keep him crazy actually just kept the spice in his life. So when he sees a reef blower, he decides he's gonna be Tentacle Acres' resident moron.
You don't have a leg to stand on.
He actually pushes the boat out more than Sponge or Pat would. He sort of terrorizes the place.
Tag, you're in.
What can I get you boys?
While all this is going down, SpongeBob and Patrick come to find him to take him home, but with all the lookalikes in town, he can't really seem to find him. Their former friend is too busy being chased by an angry mob, so to escape, he uses the reef blower.
Well, we know one thing. It sure isn't that guy.
I'm sure you're all thinking he looks pretty happy right about now, but don't you forget, this is basically a total mental breakdown brought on by the fact he realized he kinda hates the stuff he thought he loved. Plus, doing the same stuff over and over again is just fracking torture. You guys saw how defeated he looked. These are without a doubt signs of clinical depression, which is, again, pretty heartbreaking considering Squid was given everything he could have ever wanted. But still, that didn't stop his suffering, and that's exactly what he does more of next. But I'd go as far as to say that this next level of suffering is 10 times worse than anything we've seen so far. It's another day off for the boys in Con Street, and just as usual, SpongeBob and Pat knock at Squidward's house to see if he's up for a little bit of jellyfishing. He obviously says no. All that stuff is beneath him anyway. He's got a cool, relaxing bike ride to get going on.
jellyfishing. I sure had them going.
I'm not sure you'll be laughing for much longer, Squidward, mainly because there's a jellyfish heading your way. It's almost poetic, right?
Oh, stupid jellyfish! Beat it!
After basically falling down the biggest trench under the ocean and exploding, Squidward needs some serious care. And who better to give care for him than his two best friends, SpongeBob and Patrick?
Welcome home, Squidward!
Merry Christmas!
We're gonna make this your best day ever!
He doesn't like the sound of that. The boys manage to wheel him back inside, though, and they treat him to a lovely, piping hot bowl of soup. Oh, third-degree burns are nothing. Nothing compared to what's to come. Because Squid's best day ever is going to involve him and the boys going jellyfishing. One problem with that, though. How does a man in a full body cast hold a net?
Firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it!
Yeah, that ought to do it. If having his tentacle impaled wasn't painful enough for him, now he's got to try and actually catch the jellyfish. To try and get his own back on that pesky jellyfish, Squid actually starts to give jellyfishing a go. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that right there was a queen jellyfish that he just banged up with his net. If I was Squidward, I'd back out of there real slowly, because if you disturb that thing, you're gonna get fried alive. Or you can just bang on its bell like an idiot and make it mad. Nice knowing you, Squiddy.
This is really your best day ever, isn't it?
After another day in the hospital, having his jellyfish stings treated, Squid's let out and he heads home. He's got a gift for SpongeBob and Patrick because of how special they made his day.
You're not still mad, are you?
Yep, he's still mad.
You'd think he'd have learned his lesson by now, but nope. Remember, Squid, karma comes to us all. That was one hell of a few days for Squidward. He fell off a cliff, exploded, was burned, had his hand impaled, and last but not least, he got turned into calamari twice. If you didn't feel sorry for him in that episode, I'm not sure when you will. But if that wasn't enough suffering for him, how about we add a little torture in there, both physically and spiritually? This level of Squidward sadness sure is a weird one, but it starts off pretty normal with SpongeBob being the cause of his house being totaled.
Now look what you've done!
Obviously, there's that huge hole to contend with, but there's a much more pressing matter for the boys. Who the hell is dropping an anchor on people's houses? Well, Squidward climbs up the rope to find out.
That ship has a spooky green glow around it.
Owner is too lazy to clean or drop his anchors in the right place.
We all know that's the Flying Dutchman ship, but for some reason Squidward doesn't figure that out until it's too late.
Insulting a man's ship be worse than insulting his mother.
Wait, it was his mother you said was dirty, not his ship.
Nice one, Spongy. Way to go. You just got your friend fried for no reason. Squidward doesn't learn from his lesson, though, and starts running his mouth about how unfairly he's being treated.
How come when they act up, all they get is the welcome wagon? If you ask me, it's...
Instead of stealing their souls, the Flying Dutchman decides he wants to make them his ghostly crew. But again, Squidward starts running his mouth, and this time it's worse than some third-degree burns.
Now what? I suppose you're gonna show me... Oh, gee, that's very nice. Oh, what is this, some kind of magic act?
When you're dealing with the demon, you gotta keep your mouth in check. Otherwise, they'll throw you into a dimension of, well, honestly, I have no idea at all what that was. Is it like hell? While Squidward falls into insanity, the other guys are forming a formidable team.
Howl with me so that we might set the seven seas ablaze.
The whole crew thing doesn't go to plan for the Dutchman, which is really hard to see why. So to get Sponge and Pat out of his hair, he plans on eating them. But he's a fair demon, so he first grants them 3 wishes, the first of which is completely wasted.
Wishes? I wish we had known that earlier.
You got 2 wishes left.
SpongeBob makes the same mistake, but this time he brings Squidward back from the demon world.
How exciting! I wish Squidward were here to see this.
I'm glad all that's over.
Squidward!
There's unlucky, and then there's being Squidward. Having to witness the horror that was in that dimension, to then finally make it all the way home, only to be transported back to the horror ship. Well, with one wish left, SpongeBob steps up to the plate and wishes for something that'll stop them from getting eaten.
Hey! We're home!
But why have we been turned into fruits?
Hey!
So not only has Squidward had to go through all that thanks to those two barnacle heads, but now he's been turned into fruit against his own will and is about to be eaten. To be honest, with where they're headed, he'd probably thank the Flying Dutchman for putting him out of his frackin' misery, because we're about to look at the time Squidward had a complete nervous breakdown. And it's from the time Patrick built a lemonade stand right outside Squid's house. It might sound delicious, but believe me, you won't want to drink.
Thanks, buddy. I was thirsty.
While all that disgusting stuff is going on, thanks to the noise Patrick is making outside, Squidward has a bit of a problem with his nose hair trimmer. So he marches right on down to give Patrick a piece of his mind, but while doing so, SpongeBob shows up from nowhere and scares Squidward, making this happen. If you didn't already know, most squids and octopuses shoot ink when they're threatened or extremely scared. So Squidward here was not only petrified, but also super embarrassed. You could see it on the poor guy's face. That's like a fully grown adult pissing themselves in public, right? That's pretty bad. Public embarrassment, but this episode's all about to go off the deep end when Patrick gives a cup of Squid's ink to a customer.
Black lemonade! A unique taste sensation! Another.
They're all out after her glass, so I guess this is where the episode ends, where Patrick goes back to selling Band-Aid lemonade. Nope! He figures this taste sensation has a demand. All he needs to do is get a supply, and how is he gonna do that? By scaring Squidward.
May I borrow a cup of squid squeezing?
In all fairness, that's enough to scare the pants off of anyone, but still. The fact that Patrick pretends he's Squid's friend, but at the first chance he gets, he's prioritizing a few customers and a bit of loose change over their friendship. What sort of friend terrifies someone into embarrassing themselves publicly? It doesn't stop there either. The demand for the black gold skyrockets, and Patrick has to find new ways to get even more of the stuff out of Squiddy.
I hate spiders!
If I saw that thing in my house, I'm pretty sure the color of fluid that come out of me would be brown. Patrick gets what he needs and goes back to sell the stuff, leaving Squidward a complete nervous wreck. I mean, just look at him.
Hello? Who is it?
The person who's ringing on the doorbell is Patrick, and he's got an even bigger scheme cooking to get ink. He's made Squidward his own haunted house.
I'm a haunted tablecloth!
He's moved on from drugs, too. Pat set out a whole bunch of stuff, like glasses, cups, and bowls to catch the ink. Guess it's a way to make it less obvious what he's trying to do. Kind of, not really. Still a pretty scummy move. Squid goes running to the upstairs of this haunted house, but of course, he only finds more stuff that'll scare the ink out of him.
Da da! Thank you, Daddy!
For the final scare, Pat wants to finish big, so he's created a full-blown replica of the Krusty Krab and played on Squid's biggest fear, working there for the rest of his life.
May I help you, young man?
Dang, you could fill Goo Lagoon with the ink he's let go there. Anyway, Squidward escapes the house and finds that it's his ink that's the secret to the black lemonade craze at Sweep in Bikini Bottom. So he figures he wants to cut in on the action himself, but when he comes to pour a cup, because he's not authentically scared, he can't. And the thirsty public don't want to wait.
Oh, I'll do better than that, Jack!
When the customers see that their favorite drink comes out of someone's nose, they turn theirs up at the drink, and Squidward is left exploited, broke, and embarrassed.
Ooh, is that what black lemonade is?
This is easily one of the worst episodes for Squidward. Like I just said, he spends the entire time being exploited and pushed to the edge of insanity by his so-called friend. Even when he figures out what's going on and tries to get in on the action himself, it's just his luck that everyone finds it disgusting, which it kinda is. Real hard watch, it's out of character really for Patrick, and it takes the whole Squidward torture trope to a whole nother level. Speaking of whole nother levels though, there's one more episode I'd like to cover, and it really is in a league of its own for just how sad Squidward is in it. It's his real rock bottom. Of course, I'm talking about Season 8's Are You Happy Now?, where SpongeBob opens a can of worms for Squid by asking this.
So, what's your happiest memory, Squidward?
Let me think.
So right off the bat, this is pretty depressing. Squid realizes he hasn't got any happy memories, and it starts to eat away at him, until he finally opens up to SpongeBob.
Right, SpongeBob. I don't have a happiest memory.
Don't worry, Squidward. I'll help you make a happiest memory.
Really?
See, now that's a friend. I'm looking at you, Patrick. So together they set out to try and give Squid a happy memory that'll keep with him for the rest of his life by heading to watch a live orchestra. But it's not as easy as that, as they're gonna find out.
You love music, right, Squidward? This'll definitely be your happiest memory.
I think I actually feel kind of happy.
Your happiest memory is forming.
This is not my happiest memory.
Okay, so that was a near miss. Let's just chalk that one up to a coincidence. SpongeBob figures he knows how he'll get Squid smiling, so he arranges a piece of Squidward's art to be placed in Bikini Bottom's museum where it'll be appraised by a famous artist.
Gosh, Fiasco himself is talking about my art.
Squidward, go toward the light of my flamethrower!
After all these failed attempts at making himself happy, Squidward starts to forget what happiness even feels like at all. He stops going out, stops going to work. Heck, he even stops showering.
I can't seem to get happy. Maybe this will help.
Yeah, that was exactly what you thought it was. A thinly veiled joke. And sure, it might have been just a coincidence, but then there's this too.
Oh, well, here goes nothing. Gotcha! Huh? It's empty, just like my miserable life. I see nothing but darkness ahead.
Even without those jokes, this is by far the worst we've ever seen Squidward. He looks like he's out of hope, and that he thinks his life will never get any better. But SpongeBob hasn't stopped thinking about him and still vows to make him happy again. And he's got a little surprise party planned for Squid down to the Krusty Krab.
Surprise! I figured what you needed was a party to help cheer you up.
Talk about being ungrateful. Squid's clearly too far gone, though, in the weeks of being sheltered inside, and the built-up anger that his whole life has been wasted finally comes to the surface.
You don't seem to understand. I don't want happiest memory!
I guess you could say that this is Squidward's rage room, and acting like a manic might actually be beneficial to him. Hey, I'm just giving the guy a fair shake.
Are you enjoying the hors d'oeuvres?
Just goes to show how sad of a character Squidward really is, that when he finally has his happiest memory, it's of him having a mental breakdown. I know it's a kid's show, but Squiddy was clearly battling his demons in a big way this episode, and in my opinion anyway, this is the time I felt the worst for him. Like, actually worried about him, you know? Maybe it's just me going crazy, who knows? But if you're still feeling in the mood for everything cartoon, then click the video on screen right about now, and I'll see you on over there to talk about it. Thanks for watching.